Alright guys, Clayton here again. I am back in my room now. It is now Monday. It was Monday in the last video. Yeah, it's 11:38 p.m. now, and I've gotten a bit of rest since that last video because I was like super tired, pretty sleep deprived. I've gotten like 5 hours of sleep since then, I think. But yeah, the night before the concert, I'm not sure if I slept. I don't If I did, I barely got any sleep. And then I just have a tough time falling asleep on airplanes. Um, so I think there was like times where I like momentarily dozed off, but then like I probably start to fall forward and then boom, woke up. Um, and I think like if I did get a little bit of rest on the plane, I was like half asleep. Anyways, I was pretty tired on the plane back. Um, but yeah, overall, it was an amazing experience. It was my third time seeing Nine Inch Nails. So yeah, yesterday, Sunday morning, I woke up. I got up around 4. My dad and I got ready, and then my dad drove me to SeaTac Airport around 4:40 ish. Um, my plane took off around 6 in the morning, or I think it took off at 7, and I had a layover in Chicago, and that was about 4 or 5 hour flight, I think, to get from Seattle to Chicago, and then I was in Chicago for maybe an hour or so, and then flew to Cleveland from there, and that was maybe an hour and a half or 2 hour flight. When I got to Cleveland, it was just before 5 o'clock their time, and the time difference between Washington and Illinois is 2 hours, and then the time difference between Washington and Ohio is 3 hours. So I landed in Cleveland, Ohio, a little bit before 5, but it would have been, I think, a little bit before 2 p.m. in Pacific Standard Time in Washington. Um, but yeah, I was at the airport for a little bit. Then I got a Lyft ride to Rocket Arena. I got there around like 6 p.m. and or maybe it was a little bit before 6 p.m. Like once I got there, or shortly after the Lyft ride. Actually, the Lyft driver was pretty cool. His name is Mark, and we talked for a little bit, had some nice conversation. But he dropped me off close to like right by Rocket Arena, and shortly after I got there, I ran into like a bootleg merch seller, and I ended up buying a shirt from him. So I'll show you that. Um, it's this one. It's got like the cover of the slip on the front, and then on the back, got tour dates and a picture of Trent and Atticus. Like, I like the design on the front. I don't feel like the design on the back is the greatest graphic design. Like, the quality could be better, but I mean, the bootleg shirt was just $20, so I'll buy it. And yeah, I got to talk with that bootleg seller a little bit too. His name is Kevin. Um, he told me he actually travels around the country just selling this kind of merch. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I mean the money should the band should be like making all the money for the merch, but like I do appreciate like running into bootleg sellers and being able to buy merch from them too, because sometimes like this, I mean, you could buy designs that I mean, you couldn't buy at the merch table, and it cost a lot less too. So I do like buying some bootleg merch. Um, uh, Soon after I bought that, there was a girl who I ran into, I think with her mom, and she was asking like, "Oh, where did you buy that?" And I said I just bought it, and I don't know if they were able to find that guy, but I was walking with them to the entrance, and there was like a big line, and I guess there's like two entrances to go in, and on SeatGeek it said, or I'm pretty sure the doors were at 6:30, but I ended up being let in around like 6 or so people could get inside at 6 to get merch. I heard that earlier in the day, like around 3 o'clock, people could get inside to get merch too. Um, but anyways, got inside at 6. People could get inside to buy merch, but they couldn't like go to their seats yet. At 6:30, that's when people could go to their seats. But yeah, I had a floor ticket, and this is my third time seeing Nine Inch Nails, but first time seeing them from the pit, and it was amazing. Um, so yeah, after I got inside the venue, just I had my clear bag with me, checked it through security. Um, I went through security. They waved me down with their wand. Um, and then I found the area that was where all the people who had general admission floor tickets were gathered to go to the floor. And so I looked over there, and then I found out that you needed to have the red wristband um, to to get into the floor access, to have access to the floor. So I went to the area to get to the red wristband, which is close to one of the merch areas. I'm still wearing it right now. I'm like tempted to like wear this for a long time because it's like pretty special, but I might end up I don't know. I might end up cutting it off sometime soon. Um, so yeah, after I got this, I got in line. Um, I got to meet a cool couple behind me, and I can't remember their names, but I enjoyed getting to talk with them a little bit. I think they said this was their first time seeing Nine Inch Nails, and they told me that like we're talking about Nine Inch Nails a little bit, and they told me that they uh, they really like the song "As Alive as You Need Me to Be," and that's cool because like I love it too. I've been listening to it a lot. Um, anyways, I was probably standing in line in that area for 15 or 20 minutes before we were told that we could go down to the floor. And it's like we didn't go straight to the floor. There was this lady, this someone who worked there at Rocket Arena, and she was saying that okay, like in a few minutes we're gonna go down to the floor and we have to be like all organized, just walk in there. So no, you can't go to the bathroom. Like you can't. We're just going straight to the floor. There's no stops. So like you can't stop to buy merch. You can't stop to get food. You can't stop to use the bathroom. We're just going straight there. So a few minutes after she said that, these like metal gates opened. Like they rolled up that were in front of the area that we were standing at. And by the way, the area we all gathered in, it was like really cool. Like there's like these screens like to the side, and it was kind of like a circular roof. And the screens had like the artwork for the like Nine Inch Nails Peel It Back tour, and it just looked really cool. It was really beautiful standing in there. I don't know if that totally makes sense, but if you saw that part of the vlog, that'll probably make sense. Um, yeah, but so the gates rolled up, and then we walked with her. Um, so like this, I think it was like section 26 or something. That's where we walked down. It was like around there. We walked down the stairs to the floor, and yeah, after the gates rolled up, we walked down to that section, but it was still like a few minutes, maybe between like 2 and 5 minutes until like we were just gathered there waiting for a bit, and it was maybe like 5 minutes until we actually walked down to the floor. Um, but yeah, it was just oh my gosh, it was an amazing experience being so close on the floor. Um, I was really excited. Initially, like I thought like my number one spot I want to be at on the floor is like right next to the stage, like the main stage. But I was thinking if I can't get there, I'm gonna try to be like right next to the B stage. And so when we were going down to the floor, I can already see that like there was lots of people already next to the stage, so I didn't think I'd be able to have a spot like right at the front. And I was also wanting to record a full video of the show, and I was trying to be conscious of those around me. Like I didn't want to get in people's way. So I thought if I could record from the B stage, um, I probably wouldn't be in people's way as much. And thankfully I was able to get a spot like right at the B stage. So there's like no people between me and the stage, and it was so cool, like being that close to Trent. They ended up playing 6 songs on the B stage, so they opened with 3 songs on the B stage, then went to the main stage, came back, did 3 more songs on the B stage, and then went back to the main stage for like the final section of the show. Um, and sorry if what I'm saying is like kind of out of order. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. So yeah, we were probably on the floor around 6:30 or 6:40, and the opener, the DJ, Boys Noise, didn't start until 8 o'clock, and then Nine Inch Nails ended up starting around 9 o'clock. Honestly, I was a little bit worried about like having to use the bathroom because like I was gonna be on the floor for like a long time, and like I didn't want to have to leave the show to use the bathroom, and I also like didn't want to have to lose my spot. But I got to meet some cool people around me, and I don't know. I just enjoyed getting to talk to the people, and there's a guy named Johnny, who he ended up holding my spot for me while I used the bathroom. I thought I'd have to go like up the steps to where, I don't know, like right outside the arena area where everyone's sitting, um, and like use the bathroom at like, I don't know, one of the main bathrooms there. But I was actually able to walk to the back of the floor. There's like a little tunnel where there's like, it's kind of like an area just for the people on the floor, and so I got to use the bathroom back there. Walked back. That was like around 7:40 or so, and then 8 o'clock. Boys Noise started, and that was my third time seeing or really hearing Boys Noise, because from where I was at, the B stage curtain was up, and that was kind of blocking. I guess you could call it the C stage where Boys Noise was at. So I couldn't really see him much, but I definitely, this is my favorite experience seeing, or he, my favorite experience, ah, favorite time experiencing Boys Noise, I'll say, because the first 2 times I was like up in the stands, and like being on the floor. I mean, it's a completely different experience, I'd say. I mean, it just doesn't really compare. Um, so yeah, being on the floor, like right next to the gate or barricade, whatever you call it, next to the B stage, like being on the floor, experiencing the show was amazing. But I guess like if you're like up in the stands, I feel like it's more like you're observing the show, and I don't know. It's cool, but it's more about like the production and lights, I guess, because I'm used to going to like lots of shows, lots of local shows in Seattle, and just being up close, like right next to the bands. So it definitely feels more real, I guess, more authentic. Not saying it's not an unauthentic experience if you're far back, but like being closer to the bands, it just feels more real for me. Um, anyways, when I was on the floor, like the DJ's playing, Boys Noise, it just feels more like you're like in a club almost. Like there's lots of people around you, um, people dancing like really into it. And yeah, like back when I saw them in Seattle and Vancouver, and like when I was far back in the seats, it's more like observing the experience. I don't know if that makes sense, but when I'm sitting or when I'm standing on the floor in this group of people, it just feels more like I'm in this experience, like I'm participating in it. Like it feels more real, I guess. I don't know if that totally makes sense, but I really enjoyed the Boys Noise set. I feel like back in Seattle and Vancouver, where I'm up in the stands, I didn't enjoy it quite as much. Like I feel like I would have enjoyed like an actual band on the stage more, but experiencing it from the floor it was really awesome. I enjoyed it. I found Boys Noise set more enjoyable. Um, one of the guys I was talking to, Johnny, I also ended up interviewing him after the show. It was really cool getting to talk with him. Um, but he was telling me during the Boys Noise set that he thought he could hear like parts of Nine Inch Nails songs in the DJ mix, or like there's elements of Nine Inch Nails in there. And he told me that, and I was like, okay, I hadn't really noticed that. So I said, okay, I guess I kind of went along with it, but like I couldn't really hear it, I guess, hear it myself. But then after a while in the set, like there were some samples of like Down in It, and I was like, oh, okay. Like it was so cool hearing that. Like hearing just the samples of Trent Reznor saying like now I'm down in it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like really cool because now it's like gave me even more hyped up for the Nine Inch Nails show because now I'm hearing parts of Nine Inch Nails before the Nine Inch Nails show. And the last two times I saw Boys Noise on this tour, I don't remember, I don't recall hearing any sort of like Nine Inch Nails being mixed into their set. So it was like especially cool to hear that at this show. Um, yeah, I mean, the people around me during Boys Noise, they seemed to enjoy the music too. People were like getting into it and dancing. And I was just, I don't know, I was like letting myself just fully enjoy it. Like I was just dancing around to it and I was like headbanging a little bit. It was really fun. I already knew this from like the last two times I'd seen Boys Noise. That like it was like an hour long set, and in like the last 10 to 15 minutes they really start using the lights more. So like up above me, like the first 45-50 minutes or so, it's just like the straight red lights. The lights aren't changing at all. But then in the last 10-15 minutes of their set, I mean the lights are still red, but they're strobing a bit. They're um they're I don't know, I mean some of the lights are like rolling, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but the lights are doing stuff and it's getting you more hyped up for the show. I think I would have liked more if the lights were doing stuff for like throughout the whole Boys Noise set. But I mean, I think saving it for like the last 10 to 15 minutes before Nine Inch Nails gets you really more hyped, I guess. Um, anyways, I already knew this before, like from the other shows, but like Nine Inch Nails ends up starting like within seconds after the Boys Noise set finishes. Um, so sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place here. Maybe like 10 minutes or so before Nine Inch Nails started, I could briefly see like Trent coming around the corner and like walking up this little uh like walking up some stairs into the B stage. And at that point, I mean, the black curtain is still up around the B stage, but people could see Trent going up, and so they start cheering, and so that was like really cool just to be there and experience him like just walking up before the show even started. Um, but then yeah, once like within seconds after the like the ending of the Boys Noise set, I mean the lights are just strobing and it was just a really exciting experience. It's going along with the music, and then boom, stops. The room goes black. The curtains go down, and there's like all these other tour members or crew members, whatever, around the B stage. And so like once the curtain drops, they're all like pulling it, so they're getting it to the ground, so getting rid of the curtain. And then soon after that, Trent starts the first song is just Trent, and he's playing "Right Where It Belongs" solo on the piano, just acoustic. It was really cool to see that, and he ends up ending that song with a like the outro of "Somewhat Damaged," which is one of my favorite Nine Inch Nails songs. Um, and to like the only prepping I did for like this video is I wrote some info about the show. Like I wrote down the set list so I can be organized when I'm talking about the songs. But it was so special to be there, like right next to the B stage, especially when he's playing "Somewhat Damaged," like the outro for it. And yeah, it was so cool. And then after the "Somewhat Damaged" outro, he gets into "Ruiner." He starts off acoustic on the piano, then eventually Atticus Ross and Alessandro come on the stage. Um, and I can't remember if Robin was on the stage for Ruiner. I think he may have been, but then the third song, like Ruiner, it was a great song, and it's cool to see it get more amped up throughout the course of the song. The third song was Piggy, and This is the not the album version from the Downward Spiral, but it's one of the remix versions. It's the Piggy, like Nothing Can Stop Me Now version. And my third time seeing this one on the tour, it was really great. It was really cool to see up close. And it was like Trent's on stage, and then during that song, there's this girl with a big light that she's holding in her hand. And so she's like shining the light on Trent, and it's really cool to see Trent's like shadow being projected into like the back of the arena. Really cool. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, just amazing experience. Um, like once Trent finishes, once they finish Piggy, like Trent's like nothing can stop me, and then like instantaneously, like right before they even finish, Josh Freese, I think that's how you say his name, is he starts doing his drum solo to transition between the B stage and the main stage. And so I was facing the B stage, and then I turn around and you can see the video of Josh Freese doing his drum solo being projected onto the curtains that are over the main stage, because at that point the curtains are still covering the main stage. So I turn around, I can see Josh Freese doing his drum solo. Briefly turn around again, I could see Trent and the rest of the band uh, leaving the B stage, and turn around again. Josh Freese is still doing his drum solo. That lasts like maybe like a minute and a half, but it's really cool. Like the last section of the drum solo, he's doing a little bit of the drums for Getting Smaller from the With Teeth album. So it's like it's like amazing. That's Getting Smaller is like one of my favorite Nine Inch Nails songs. So it was really special to be able to hear that. I was like looking at Setlist FM the other day, at like the previous Nine Inch Nails concert set list, and I saw there was a note that for like when Josh Freese was playing his drum solo a few nights ago, he was playing part of Getting Smaller. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I was able to find a full audio recording of that, and to hear that was pretty cool. But hearing in person was awesome. Within seconds after Josh Freese finished his drum solo, the band goes into Wish, and while that's starting, the black curtains are going up, and that was an amazing song. It was so cool to see that, and being right at the B stage. I mean, I feel like I had the perfect spot. Like I'm not too far away from the main stage. I can see the band members really well. I get to see the screens on the side, and then there's like a screen behind them, but there's also the first section, like the first section of them being on the main stage. There's like a thin veil, there's like a thin curtain in front of them, but it's like see-through, but there's like projections on those too. So it looked so cool. Like visually, it was an amazing experience. um and so there's projections of the band. They're on the screen behind them. They're on like the screens off to the side, but they're also on this like thin curtain in front of them. It looked amazing. Wish was awesome. After Wish, they did March of the Pigs, and they had like an extended outro of that. But just like the visuals, like the whole show, amazing. It looked amazing. But March of the Pigs, it I don't know how to describe the colors, but it just I don't know. Whoever's in charge of doing like the visuals for the tour, amazing job. Um, After March of the Pigs, they did Reptile, one of my favorite songs of the night. Honestly, like Reptile is one of the reasons I wanted to be on the floor, because I think visually that's like my favorite song they played. It's like doing the I feel silly doing that, but like they're doing the intro, and then it's like Josh is like like with his drumsticks just like counting down like the next part of the song, and it's like boom, gosh, I feel so silly doing this. Um, but like when the guitars are doing the boom, like the lights, there's like these bright green lights just like strobing onto like into the pit, and it's just like amazing, and it looked so cool. But it's like boom, and then when you hear like the mechanical sample, whatever, going like, I I I feel so. I'm gonna say this a few times, but like I feel silly trying to like recreate the sounds using my voice. But it's like boom, and it's like boom, doo, doo. But like the whole time, like after the boom, and when it's going like doo, like there's like these lights on the stage, and it looks like this like almost like Nine Inch Nails is in like this like white little cage, but the lights are going up on the curtain, and then they're going down, and if you haven't seen the video, this probably wouldn't make sense, but it just that looked amazing. So visually, I'd say Reptile was my favorite song um, from the tour. Um, but yeah, they did Reptile, and then they did Find My Way after Reptile, which that was my first time hearing this live. And this song, that was the seventh song of the night. And it seems like that song or song slot, they alternate between different songs. So like the first show I saw them at on this tour uh, was at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, BC. And so that song slot, they played The Lovers. And then when I saw them in Seattle, they played Heresy. But then this time they played Find My Way. So it was really cool to see that. It's cool to see an alternate song being played. And Hesitation Marks is a really good album, and just really cool to see a song from that album. And then speaking of Hesitation Marks, after Find My Way, they played Copy of a, which is the second song on Hesitation Marks. And Copy of a, like another amazing song visually. Probably my second favorite like visual experience, right behind Reptile. Um, but yeah, well, there's like all these different projections of Trent going up on the curtains around him, and it just a really cool experience to see that. After a copy of it, they played Gave Up. Um, with that song, they were like utilizing like the lights above me. They didn't use those lights for the whole show, just parts of it. Um, but that was really cool performance. Like Robin is singing all like the screaming parts, and Trent is doing the other vocal parts, but amazing song. It was really cool to hear music from the Broken EP, because that is such an amazing piece of music. I think, well, yeah, because they started with Wish on the main stage, so I got to hear two songs from the Broken EP. Um, After Gave Up, or at the end of Gave Up, like before it was over, I could turn around and see on the B stage that Boys Noise was there, and there was like the lights were shining above the B stage. It was like red over there. So while Gave Up is ending, it's kind of getting prepared for the second B stage set. And so once Gave Up finished, it instantly goes into the song Vessel. The next three songs were on the B stage, and those were all like remix versions with Boys Noise. And actually, I'm not really familiar with Vessel. I haven't really listened to Year Zero yet. I haven't really experienced that, although I do like the song Meet Your Master. But like, I still need to listen to Year Zero. I'm pretty sure Vessel is from the album. But just the way that song was introduced, and like the lights coming down and seeing like Trent go onto the stage, it was just, that song was like a really cool experience. Um, Second song they played on the B stage for that section of the B stage, because like I said, they started off on the B stage doing acoustic three songs in the main stage, and then they're back to the B stage. The second song they did for being back on the B stage was Closer, and that was like a new remix version with Boys Noise. And the first two times I saw Closer on this tour, in Seattle and Vancouver, BC, they played the regular version with a little bit of The Only Time thrown in there, which The Only Time is another one of my favorite Nine Inch Nails songs. But seeing, like, I remember a few days after the Seattle show, I saw that now they're doing a remix version on the B stage. And honestly, at first, I think I was a little skeptical of, man, what's it going to be like? I feel like Closer is such an amazing song, and it's so amazing and big that it needs to be on the main stage. But then when I saw a video and like when I heard the new remix of Closer, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So I was just before the show, I was really anticipating hearing this new remix of Closer, and it did not disappoint. It was amazing, especially being so close, being just up front right there. Um, but yeah, I loved seeing this new version of Closer. Um, I thought that after Vessel or maybe after Closer, they would play As Alive as You Need Me to Be, but they didn't end up playing that at the show, which honestly I was a little bit disappointed by it because I was looking forward to seeing that up close. Seems like once they started this U.S. leg of the tour, that's when they started playing as Alive as You Need Me to Be, which is going to be on the new Tron soundtrack, which Nine Inch Nails is doing the full thing. I'm excited to listen to the soundtrack once it comes out. But yeah, they didn't end up playing as Alive as You Need Me to Be at this show. But after Closer, they played the Boys Noise remix of Came Back Haunted. Honestly, the first two times I saw it, like, I really liked the song Came Back Haunted, but I didn't really think this new remix was like the greatest. But being up close and seeing it right there was like a whole new experience for it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it sounded great. Um, and again, it was just really cool to be that close for it. Um, but yeah, I seeing Came Back Haunted on the B stage like up close felt like a whole new experience, and I enjoyed the song more than I did the last two times I saw it. Um, but then at the end of Came Back Haunted, you see Trent leaving the B stage, and he's still like singing Came Back Haunted into the microphone. I came back haunted, and he's just walking back. The By the way, throughout the whole show, there's someone on the stage with a camera recording the whole thing, and it's like you're getting the perspective from on the stage, and it's being projected onto the screens. And I thought it was really cool. I've seen some people complain in comment sections on YouTube videos like, why is there like someone just on the stage filming? And I think it really adds to the whole experience. But yeah, they were with him on the B stage, where they were with Nine Inch Nails on the B stage too the second time during the remix set. And so I wasn't like really turning around much during that. I was watching like the B stage, but for like behind me, like, oh my gosh, when Nine Inch Nails went back to the B stage for the remix portion of the show, the black curtains went back down onto the main stage, and so throughout the B stage set, there's video of them being projected onto the main stage curtains. So for people who aren't right there and up close, they still get to see really good video of like up close of Trent and of Boys Noise and Atticus, and so that was really cool. But I was mostly just watching the B stage and not the curtains with that video being projected onto it. Anyways, um, as Trent is walking back to the main stage, he's singing the end of Came Back Haunted, and the guy with the camera is following him. So you're still seeing that projected onto the main stage. But once, like, after the vocal part is done with that, Boys Noise is still doing, like, this, like, remix outro of it. And then you see, like, that's going on for a little bit. And then they start to go into the next song on like so like the first song being back onto the main stage is Mr. Self Destruct, and that was my first time seeing that one live. It was really amazing. So it's kind of flowing from Came Back Haunted to Mr. Self Destruct. At the beginning of Mr. Self Destruct, you're still hearing like the remix instrumental of Came Back Haunted, and then like a few maybe within 5 to 10 seconds after Mr. Self Destruct has started, Came Back Haunted is just done in the background. But it's just so cool, like hearing that boom, 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 like the intro for Mr. Self Destruct. Really awesome. And the guy in front of me, Johnny, who I mentioned earlier, it was so cool seeing his reaction because he had like a backwards Nine Inch Nails hat on, and once that started, once the like the boom, once that starts, he's like holding his head like that, and it was just like to see someone like that, like almost like shocked that song is playing. That was really cool. Um, it was really cool to see the song live, although I did notice that Trent did mess up the lyrics a little bit. Pretty sure it starts out with like I am the voice inside your head, and then like I'm the lover inside your bed or something like that. He switched the lyrics, so initially the his first lyrics live were like I'm the lover inside your bed, and then he did um, I'm the voice inside your head. But it was a great performance. Great to see that. Now that song, that's another one of the songs where they've been kind of like alternating it. So the first two times I saw Nine Inch Nails on this tour, the first time they like when they went back to the main stage from doing the B stage remix set, when they went back to the main stage, they were opening that with "Somewhat Damaged," which again is one of my favorite songs. So it was really cool to see that live. But this time they did "Mr. Self Destruct." After Mr. Self Destruct, they did "Less Than" from the Add Violence EP, and like "Less Than" is starting like when Robin is finishing this like the little guitar outro on Mr. Self Destruct. "Less Than," really great song, really great to see it live. Um, then they did "The Perfect Drug." Um, that was amazing. The crowd was just like lit up, and people were loving it. It was great to see that one live too. After The Perfect Drug, Trent was doing like band introductions, like saying like this is Robin, this is Alessandro, this is Atticus. After that, he was mentioning Cleveland because Cleveland is actually where Nine Inch Nails started. So it was like a hometown show, and he's talking about how he's like driving through Cleveland that day and just taking it all in. And I can't remember exactly what he said, so I'm not going to try to put words into his mouth. But it was really cool to hear him talk about Cleveland. After that, he was like thanking the crowd for coming out to the show. Then he mentioned David Bowie. He's like, oh yeah, like he mentioned like the time when David Bowie called him and kind of discussed the idea of like doing a tour together, and and then they covered the song "I'm Afraid of Americans" by David Bowie, which it's really cool to see that. That was my second time seeing them perform that because they did that at the Vancouver, BC show, but they didn't play it in Seattle. Um, After that, they did "The Hand That Feeds," um, and then "Head Like a Hole," which both the songs were like amazing live. I don't really know exactly what commentary to add to it, but it was just amazing. Um, those like the crowd was just really amped up for those, so it was really cool to experience it from the pit, especially. Um, Head Like a Hole, those lights were like insane. Though out of the whole show, I'd say the lights for Head Like a Hole were like the brightest. So there were some parts where it was like actually kind of hard to see. Um, but yeah, it seemed like the whole crowd throughout the arena was just loving it and just singing for Head Like a Hole. But then it was really special. They ended the show with "Hurt," and I mean that's like a really special song and really cool to end it with. Um, and especially being close, like I'd say I was probably within like maybe 40 feet of the stage, at least like maybe 50 feet. And so I was still like really close to the band for that. And I don't know what to say. It was just a really special experience to see that perform live. Um, and then the show ended. And so it's doing like the ending of "Hurt." So it's just like really loud. And I think I was just like looking around, like on with my camera, just like panning around the crowd, and it's like really loud from the outro, and then after a bit, the curtains come back down, and then the NIN for like the symbol for Nine Inch Nails is just shining on the screen, or not the screen, but it's being projected onto the black curtains. Um, that was just amazing experience. Definitely in my like top 10 concerts of all time. It was my 71st concert of the year. Pretty sure possibly my 280th concert of my life. I've been to many shows, and I'm 24. Um, but yeah, I after that I got a video interview with dude. Dang it, I think I said that his name was Johnny earlier. No, I got an interview with Ethan. That's the guy who was standing by me at the show. Got a interview with him. He was talking about his experience, so it was really cool to hear someone talk about their perception of the show and how they liked it. So I got an interview with him, and then it was cool because like while I'm recording, the band or the stage is being taken down, being taken apart. You can see like the lights that were up above are slowly being like let down. So it's cool to like experience like the takedown part of the show too. And then I got a picture with him, and then he took a picture of me with like one of the crates holding like the equipment, and like the crate had like said like Nine Inch Nails on it, so that's pretty cool. Um, and then after that, before I left the venue, I got an interview with a girl named, I think it's Elo, and a guy named Rowan. He's 17, she's 19, and they just met at the show. They were at the front of the barricade, so I got to hear about their experience. She drove like 6 hours for the show, and this was her third concert of the tour. And I'm pretty sure this was Rowan's first concert, first time seeing them, but he's seen them 2 more times on this tour. And like I said, this is my third time seeing them. But it was cool meeting them and getting to hear about their experiences and how they liked Nine Inch Nails. And then after that, I did go to a merch table, and I got this shirt actually that I'm wearing right now. And I was hoping to find this one at the show. Just it says Nine Inch Nails Peel It Back Tour. Really cool. On the back side, it's got dates and cities. Then I also got this shirt. I don't think I saw this like at the other shows. It says I now know the depths I reach are limitless. Um, it's lyrics from song Reptile. It says Nine Inch Nails on the back, Peel It Back 2025 tour. Then besides that, I also bought this hoodie. One of my friends in Seattle, Tammy, she wanted this, but she wasn't able to get it at the show. So I told her if they have the size, I'll buy it for her. So I got this hoodie for her, and next time I see her, I'll be giving it to her. And then before I left the venue, I ended up meeting a guy named Mark too. It was really cool talking with him. I met some of his friends, and before I met his friends, I got to talk with him and talk about some of the deep meanings that Nine Inch Nails, like how they've helped me through lots of grief and stuff. So that was like really cool getting to like talk with him. And then yeah, I got to meet his friends too. And they said like I ended up leaving the venue with them, and they said they're gonna go to a bar, and I thought about asking them if I could go to the bar with them and join them, but I didn't want to intrude. I felt like I might be rude if I asked them. Anyways, they left. I was walking around outside, seeing if I could find any more people to talk to or get more like video interviews about the experience. And after maybe 15 to 20 minutes, I ran into a guy named, or before that, I did get a second bootleg shirt after the show. And this one, not the greatest shirt, but it says Nine Inch Nails Peel It Back Tour 2025. And it's got this picture of Trent, which someone told me it looks kind of like an AI shirt or AI design. They're like, yeah, Trent would probably hate that. But on the back, it's got the different cities on it. And so, yeah, I mean, Trent, maybe he wouldn't be a fan of this. and it's not like official merch, but I just thought it's kind of cool because like where else would you see this? It's pretty unique, I think, and this is also $20 too. So yeah, I got another bootleg shirt after the show, and then maybe 15 to 20 minutes after I had walked out of the venue, I ran into a guy named Johnny. We ended up talking for maybe like 40 minutes or so about Nine Inch Nails, talking about Nirvana too, because he heard I was from Seattle, and just we had a really great conversation. And yeah, I ended up getting an interview with him. That video is like 14 minutes or so. At the end of the interview, it was cool. Like we shook hands, and you can hear him saying the last thing he says is like, "Hey, do you want to go to a bar?" I was like, "Sure." So that's where the video stops, which I thought was kind of cool. It turns out the bar that we went to was just walking down the street from Rocket Arena. That's the same bar that Mark and his friends went to, like the people I met when I was leaving the venue. So I ran into them, and we were there until like closing, so until 2, and uh, I people bought me some drinks, so that was like really cool. I ended up having like 2 beers, I think it's called Oktoberfest. And I don't really like beer, but it was a fun experience. I had fun like getting to talk with people and just meeting people. I love meeting fellow Nine Inch Nails fans. Um, and they had like one of those things where you can like request song, like you pay for music to be played. It's like the modern jukebox, I guess. And so you pay on this app and you can request songs. So there's one lady, I think her name might be Heather, and she was playing some Nine Inch Nails songs. So like she did Into the Void, which is it's one of my favorite Nine Inch Nails songs. Down in It, I think that's like the first one she played. She did one called like Capital G, which I am not familiar with, but it's from the what is it called? Year Zero album. And I think the last song she was playing was Sunspots, but that's when they were closing, so it turned off like mid song. So her and I were just singing that together, like after the song ended, we were just finishing it on our own. But yeah, it was a really fun experience. Um, After the show, I was hanging out, or after the bar, I was hanging out with Johnny for a bit more, and he's walking me through parts of the city a little bit, giving me a little bit of a tour. After that, I got a ride back to the airport, but I got there like pretty late, and like the security line was crazy long. So I honestly thought that there was a chance I might miss my, not that there was just a chance I might miss my flight, but I was almost certain I was going to miss my flight because I have my United Airlines app open, and it said, like, I was like, not even, I was in line for security. It said, like, boarding starts in like 14 minutes, and I just saw, like, the countdown go on and on. And then I was still in security, and oh my gosh, it was like so stressful. Like, it said on my app that boarding ended at 5:45, and I finally got through security at like 5:42. I had to run all the way to gate C29 or terminal C29, and I run a lot, but like nothing could have prepared me for that. I was wearing my Vans too. I was like running crazy hard, and I got there at like 5:47, 2 minutes after it said the boarding was finished. But I was like, oh, like I got there. There was no one like sitting at the gate, but there was still like a lady at like the terminal, a lady working there. I was like, can I still get on the plane? And she said yeah. So I was like so thankful. I was like, I think there may have been one or two more people who came on after me, but I totally thought I wasn't gonna be able to make it on the plane. But I'm glad I did. Um, yeah. So it was kind of scary. I thought I'd miss the flight, but I didn't. So that was probably like a 2 hour flight. There was another layover in Chicago, and then I think by the time I landed, my plane was about to start boarding in Chicago. So just went to walked to my plane. I walked to that terminal. I think on the way I stopped at an Auntie Anne's in the airport, got some pretzels, and then the flight from Chicago to SeaTac was about 4 hours or so. and finished watching a movie that I'd started on a plane ride the day before, which is Companion. It was released 2025. It's got Sophie Thatcher. It's pretty good. Um, and anyways, by the time I got back, I was so tired, like very sleep deprived, and then yeah, got home. I probably got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then now it's here I am later today, technically tomorrow now, or it's Tuesday. It's after midnight. It's 12:29 in the morning. So, anyways, this is probably like the end of my concert vlog here. This is like super long. This video right here is going at 50 minutes, and but I'm probably gonna have this full thing at the end of the concert vlog, just talking about the concert. I might make another video like this where I'm just talking about the concert experience, but probably a bit shorter than 50 minutes with videos of the concert just spliced in there. But anyways, this concludes my concert vlog, my third time seeing Nine Inch Nails' 71st concert of the year, and I think my 280th concert of my life. It was an amazing experience, really special. I'm so happy I got to be on the floor, and it was very expensive, but it was worth it for me. Um, yeah, it was like I was just there and back. Like I landed in Cleveland just before 5 p.m. and then flew back at 6 in the morning the next day. So I was just there for the concert. 10 out of 10 would recommend, but I would definitely recommend it more if you're someone who can sleep on planes. But I'm not. So, um, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.